Hello everyone, so welcome you again. So in this video, we are going to learn some networking fundamentals in the Google Cloud. So when I say networking fundamental means we are going to see that how the network has been provisioned onto the cloud. You must be knowing that all the resources, maybe a storage or a database or networking resources, whatever we are provisioning onto the cloud, it must be inside one network. We call it as a VPC, virtual private cloud. So there is always one VPC there in the cloud. So there's a default cloud always there. So there is no need to create a network or a VPC every time when you provision it. We are going to use a default one, but we have a option to customize this default, and we can do as per our requirement. So in this exercise, it's a very simple exercise, the very basic fundamentals of understanding the networking concepts into the Google Cloud. So we'll just go to the default network, and we will just explore some of the key elements of the network like subnets, the routes, the firewall rules, and then we will also delete this default network to see the impact. That is it possible to create or provision any virtual machine or any of the resources without this default network? This we will check here, and then we will also try to create virtual machine, two VM instances on different region, and try to make a connection between the two using SSH. Okay, so we will see that how the firewall rules is also helping us to do this kind of communication between the two virtual machines, which are actually provisioned in different region. We will also look to certain firewall rules, and we will try to understand the impact of these rules. So we will also delete these firewall rules and see that what is the impact in the communication. So let's explore all these things in this video. So let's start. So the very first thing is we are going to log in to our Google Cloud account. So already I have a free account with me. I hope you already have one account. Let's start. Okay, so this is my console screen of the Google Cloud. So here we are going to do all the exercise. So let me first explore the default virtual private cloud. So we can go and search here VPC. Even if you don't find here, you can just write it here at the search bar VPC. So this VPC network we are looking for. And you can see that here by default there is one default VPC is there. So every time when we provision anything onto the cloud, it is actually going to use this default VPC. So here you can see you can go to the sub networks. So you can see that different regions are shown here. The regions are basically the geographical areas. We know that these providers are spread all over the globe. So they have their presence in these regions: US Central One, Europe West One. So these are the different geographical areas, and they have the data centers on these areas, and we are calling as a availability zone. So each region is comprising of multiple data centers, and you can see that this is the CIDR range. The IP range has been shown here, that this is the IP range which is assigned for this. Okay, then we can look to the routes also. The routes also are there, which basically you can say it's a kind of path defined in order to make the communication possible. Means if you want to transfer data or you need to establish a connection, then these routes are to be used, which is already been defined here. So we have to specify that which networks we are going to choose the network, default network here in this case. Otherwise, you can make your own network and do your own setting, all the configuration, and then the region you have to specify. And then you can just, for example, if I look here and if I select this, okay, this, if you click on view, it will give you all these options. Okay, so this is done. Then we can go to firewall rules. So firewall rules is a kind of rule that we establish. So it will restrict that what can come inside your network, what can go outside from your network. So by default, four rules are already been defined for connecting your virtual machine using SSH. If you want to establish a remote connection using RDP, if you want to connect you using the public IP or the private IP. So these firewall rules is actually coming in picture here. So you can also add a new firewall rules, means what kind of services are to be on running on different ports are to be allowed to connect. That also to be defined here. Okay, so this we have seen. So let us now explore some more thing. Now, if you want to create a virtual machine, and a virtual machine can be created only if there is a uh, some VPC existing. So by default, we create virtual machine inside a default VPC. So what will happen if we delete this? Okay, so let us go back again, and if we go to our this VPC network, okay, and if we go to the default, which is existing here, this is uh, used while browsing any other resources. Now, if I delete this, it will take some time to delete. You can see it is saying deleting the network. So we have to wait for some time. Now, once it is deleted, we will try to create one instance, and then we realize that instance cannot be created without any VPC. So first you have to create a VPC, then only you can provision any of the resources, or you can say you can create your virtual machine. You can see here it is saying successfully deleted network. Now we don't have any network. So now if we go here and if we try to create one instance, let us click on create instance. We just keeping all the things default. So as I said, all things we are going to create instance, and we keep everything default. We are not going to um, you know configure this machine. We just go with all the things default, and we click on create. Now you can see that it is mentioning some issue here. So we can click on this and go to the issue, and here you can find that no more network available in this project. So there is no network visible here. Okay, so if you select the network, okay, so there is no network acquisition because already we have deleted. So it's not possible to do this thing. So the very first thing is that we need to have one VPC. We have one default network. Either we are using default network or you have to use your own network. Okay, so now we'll go back, and first we recreate our this network VPC, and then we will provision any of these instances. Okay, so we'll go back. Let's say again go to this VPC network, and then click on create VPC network. Let's say my this is, let's say, demo network. You can give any name, whatever you want, and this must be all lowercase, and we are just keeping all the things as it is as for now. Now I want to just reinitiate, or means re-establish my previous network. So I will be going to click on automatic. So now I will just regain all the things which already they're existing as a default network. So if you deleted your default network, and if you want to just regain all the configuration which was earlier there, then you can just use this automatic creation mode. And then let us allow all these four rules. So it will, these are ingress rule. Ingress rule basically define that what kind of traffic can enter into your VPC. So we are allowing all the custom. This is basically for accessing using the private IP. This is for using the public IP. This is for connecting to your virtual machine. And here you can see that uh, the 0.0.0 means it's a kind of default. It's kind of all kind of traffic is going to allow. And these firewall rules are having some priority. So this is the priority number can be up to 65535, and the larger value, the lesser is the priority. So if you want to uh, kind of overwrite any of these rules, you can just make a rule and give this value less than this. So that rule will come like more prior, means more important. So here you can see this is the the least rule that is defined here. One for allow and deny, it is apply to all. Okay. So we'll keep this as it is and then click on create. So here we are trying to uh, get back our default network. That means it will have sub networks. We have a root, we have firewall. We need to wait for some time. You can see here it says successfully created network demo network. Now this is the VPC that we are going to use for creating any instance or keeping any instance onto the cloud. Okay, so now we will go to the computer engine, which is basically for creating virtual machine. We go here, and then what we are going to create two virtual instances, two virtual machine at different regions, and then we'll try to make a connection between the two. So first go to create instance. So one instance we are going to select in somewhere in the US region and other maybe in the Europe region. So okay, so this is let's say VM US. Okay, this is what I have given the name. So let's say we select the US Best 4. Now this is because we are just using it for demonstration purpose. So randomly you can select anyone. Otherwise we have to see that where is our customer base. Okay. So there are different parameters that decide that what region we have to select. One may be the pricing, one may be the kind of customer base. Okay. Let's say I select this Los Angeles West 2 and zone is, let's say, okay, this is, so that means in this region we have three availability zones are there, means three data centers you can say are existing in this region. So I have just selected just randomly this 2A. Okay, then we can go for other configuration. So I am going to provision a very cheapest like the cost machine, because this is all for demonstration. So we'll go with the micro one. So this is E2, we have chosen the E2 instance, and this is E2 medium, so we'll just go and make it micro. Okay, the other things we are keeping okay default as it is, and I think we are done with all the things which we are looking for, and then we will just click on uh, okay, create. So it will take some time to get us uh, fully configured for us. So when it is going to create it, you can see that it will assign one internal IP and external IP. It's kind of, you can say, private IP and the public IP. Okay, and we are going to connect with the help of this SSH. And this is all possible because already in place we have a firewall rule that allows us to do the connection. So this is one machine we have created. Now let us create one other virtual machine in the Europe region. So I'll go to create instance, and this is, let's say, VM EU. You can give any name. This is just to differentiate the two. And this is somewhere in, let's say, in this Finland region. And here again we have three zones are showing to us. Let us choose 1B, and then we'll keep general purpose. We know that there are different kind of instances are possible depending on the different requirement, what kind of workload you are going to uh, uh, you know to be used by these VMs. So depending on that, so this is a kind of moderate requirement. If you want to just host a website, or if the usage is moderate, we go for general purpose. So I'm going to select general purpose E2, and then I will be again. So in this we are getting E2 medium, two virtual CPU, one core, 4 GB memory. I will just make it one this micro 1 GB memory. Okay, and at the same time, you can also see whatever the things we are going to configure. On the basis of this, it will reflect, it will show about the prices, so that you just keep your budget in mind, and then accordingly you can configure your virtual machine. That's the things I'm keeping default. This is the kind of summary. You can say the name is this, the type is this, license is free. We are using this Debian machine, which is actually open source, so freely available to us. And then rest keep all the things default and click on create. So at this point of time, we are done with creating two virtual machines onto the cloud. And these are created by default inside the VPC that we have created. Let us click on this and see some more things about it. You can see there's a name and the stance ID is assigned, and you can see mm, all the things which are concerned is actually available here. So if you want to find any of the information of this version, you can just click on it and you will find all the things available here. Okay, so you can see here that it is basically using this network, demo network, that is under this VPC we have created this virtual machine. Okay, so this is done. Let us go back to our instances. Now we'll try to connect uh, these instances. So let's say I'm going to connect this US machine. So with the SSH, because we have already allowed in the firewall rules, we have said allow SSH, and because of that, we are able to connect to a virtual machine using this SSH. We need to authorize this. Okay, we are done. So we are able to. So you can see here, this is a VM US. That means we are connected with this. This is my account, and this is the machine that we want to connect. We are done successfully. Now, if I want to connect to this EU machine, so I will write here. So if I want to connect to this machine, Europe machine, okay, using this US machine, so I will, let's say, okay, first I will use this internal IP. So I will just copy this and I will go back here and I will paste it here. This is the IP of the Europe machine, the private IP, and we see that it is pinging properly. Okay, so here we are able to connect our Europe machine successfully. Okay, this is done. Now let us also connect to our Europe machine. Okay, so we'll use SSH here. Okay, so we need to authorize it. So you can see this is we are able to connect to this virtual machine, it means EU virtual machine. Now let us connect. So we'll write ping. So I want to just get three reply back. So I will write here the private IP. So first I will use private IP, and then also again I will use public IP. So this is the machine which I have connected, and now means which I have like connected remotely. Now from this machine, I want to ping to this US machine. So I'll take the IP of this US machine. So we'll get a reply back. That means we are able to connect successfully. Now we'll do one more thing. Now we have used this private IP. Now if I use public IP, now this is actually possible to connect using private IP, because in the firewall we have allowed there's one rule called allow custom, and because of this allow custom rule, we are able to connect with the private IP. And to connect with the public IP, we also have made one rule called allow ICMP. And because of that rule is enabled, we can use this public IP, and we will connect it. Okay, so we'll just have a look here. So now I have used the public IP. I will write here, and then you can see, yes, we are able to connect. Now this is happening because we have already give the permission to use public IP and private IP and do the connection, establish the connection. Now we can see that is it working because of the rules which are enabled there. So we can go back, and we can go to firewall. So we have this network, right? This is the network that we are using, and here you can go to firewall. You can also we can go from here, and then you can see here that these four rules are actually you know uh, enabled here. So if I am going to delete this one, allow custom. Now this is basically helping, allowing us to do connecting using the private IP. So if I delete this, so it says it is deleted. So you can see that three rules are visible here. We can let us also delete one more as allow ICMP, and let us see. So at one go we have deleted the two rules, and we'll see the impact of it. So delete all this, and then we will be trying to connect with the help of IPs. So it says it's deleting the allow ICMP firewall rule. So it is deleted. Okay. Now we'll go back to our virtual machine, and here you can see this is okay. Let us first clear the screen. Okay. So here you can see that this is connected to means we are connected to uh, EU machine, right? So now we will try to connect this EU machine to this US machine using this public IP. So we'll just copy this and then write this ping command. Okay. And then you will find that we are not able to connect. So this is happening because of the firewall rule that we have made there, that is allow ICMP and allow custom. So we have demonstrated that how these firewall rules actually helping us to establish the connection. Similarly, if you go back to the so let us, if I just uh, close this, and if I further go back to the VPC, if I go to my VPC network, and if you go to this demo network, and if I go to have a rule, now these two are visible to me. Now let's say delete all these, even the SSH is not there. Now if we delete this SSH, then you will find that you are no more able to connect to your virtual machine. So it is deleting. Let us delete it completely. Okay, it is done. So now we have no rule for SSH even. So now if you go back to your instances, let's say this is your virtual machine. Now, if I want to connect to any of these instance using SSH, let's see what is happening. So earlier we have checked that both instances we were able to connect using SSH because already we have a rule in place. Now let us see that what will happen if I want to connect to this Europe machine. So you can see that it's keep on trying to connect, but actually it is not able to connect because there is no provision of connecting. So let us just summarize what we have done in this exercise. So this was the objective for this exercise. We have explored the default network. We have understood that there must be one VPC to create anything onto the to create any resources onto the cloud. And then we have seen that what is the impact of deleting these default subnetwork. And then we created the two instances in different region. We were successfully connected these instances using SSH. And after that, we have also used to connect from one instance to another instance using the firewall rules that we have defined, like the allow ICMP and the customize allow custom. This we have seen. We have also demonstrated that if these firewall rules are deleted, then we are not able to connect using these public IPs and private IPs. And at the last, we have also checked that what is the impact of allow SSH firewall rule. If we delete that allow SSH firewall rule, then you are not able to connect. So we have understood the, the very basic idea of networking into the cloud, and we have just have explored very fundamental things. So this is all for this video. In the other video, we will talk more about Google Cloud. Thank you very much.